Hey there, drone fans. Today I'm out for my very first flight of the brand new DJI Air 3S drone. Now, I've had the drone for a couple of days, but I wasn't able to fly it because we had a lot of rain. And today is the first really nice day that I could get outside, get this drone up in the air and start flying it. And boy, am I excited to fly the new Air 3S because DJI has made some major improvements to the airframe that include a larger sensor, a better imaging package. They've added LiDAR to the front of the drone to improve the crash avoidance in darker scenarios, and a whole lot of other advanced features that I can't wait to start testing, but I can't test any of that until I actually fly the drone a little bit. Now, I haven't had it up in the air yet. I'm going to share that with you today, but once I get comfortable with it in the air, I'm going to fly it at some of my favorite places. I've got farms near me, I've got the shore, I've got the Pine Barrens, I've got the bay. So I'll put the drone up and I'll capture a lot of footage and put it in a short montage for you so you can see exactly what that footage looks like coming right off the SD card. I won't do any color corrections or adjustments. It'll be raw footage right off the SD card, and that way you'll get a feel for what the drone can provide. And at the very end, I'll come back after having flown it for a couple of days and give you my first impressions. But for today, it's going to be the first flight and that montage. All right, so before we get started, I've updated the firmware on the drone. I've also updated the firmware on the RC2. I'm not in an NFZ. I'm not near any airplanes. I've checked the area, so we're good to fly. Now, first thing I'm going to do is start a recording, and then I'll start the drone up by pulling the two joysticks down into the center. And the props spin up. This is my favorite part right here. All right, so I'm going to lift the drone up.
Home point updated.
Home point's updated. Okay, that's good news. All right, so first thing I like to do with any new drone I'm flying is I like to see how it responds to the joysticks, right? Because it's a brand new drone and every drone's got a personality because of its weight, its mass, the way it responds to the joysticks, all that stuff's really important. So really basic testing on it is I like to go forward, I like to go back. It's going a little bit slower, but I can adjust that in the settings, left and right. I kind of like it a little sluggish like that. I don't like it to be too responsive when it's a big drone. So I'll elevate, I'll come down. Yeah, it's handling it really well. It's very, very responsive. And let me go over there. It's not terribly noisy either. So what you've got there are bigger propellers and better ESCs. That's going to give you a quieter drone in a lot of ways. If you're flying some of the smaller drones, they tend to have a really higher whine because the props have to spin faster because they're smaller. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get this thing down the field and get some footage. All right. So we're all set to go. And boy, I'm telling you, the butterflies are in my stomach. Here we go. And away we go. All right. Watch those trees, Rick. Don't hit the trees, Rick. Let's get her up a little higher there between those trees. Boy, that's a beautiful shot. That camera's outstanding. Okay, we're up above the tree line. Now you can tell I'm down here in the pines. One of my favorite places to fly. I got to keep an eye on that drone. Let me pan down a little bit. Oh, that's beautiful. It's a wonderful fall day. Just a gorgeous fall day out here. All by myself, nice and quiet. All right, that's about the edge of my visual line of sight. So let me spin it around and head back. You can see just how big the pines are down here. It's just incredible. All right, so I'm coming back. I'm on a fire road. All right, there's the road, and I got to keep it up high enough where I can actually see it. All right, coming back. Boy, that's gorgeous. That is absolutely gorgeous. Now, I'm not zooming or anything. I'm just flying. All right. There she is. Come on back. Watch the trees, Rick. Now, I have crash avoidance on this thing turned on, but I don't know. You know, I always find a way to mess things up when I get close to trees like this. So let's bring it in. All right. Looks good. Man, that's stable in the air. That is incredible in the air. All right, let me spin it around, see if I can land it on the mat. This is one of the tests I like to do. Whenever I'm flying a new drone, let's see how close I can get to the H on the mat there. It's always a good test for new pilots. Now, I got some bramble off to the side, so that may mess it up a little bit. That looks pretty good there. Oh, a little too far over. Let's get back, Rick. Come on, put it down. I think it's having a hard time with all the branches. I probably should have put it closer to the center of the road. All right, let me get over the mat. I don't want to land this thing in the grass on my first flight. All right, it looks pretty good right there. Now I'll test the return to home and all the other cool features of it. But for today, let's just put it down on the mat. A little bit closer. Okay, that's perfect. There you go. Boom, right on the H. All right, okay. So first flight, not too bad. I did all right. Now, I tell you, I'm going to fly it a little more around here because this, again, is one of my secret favorite places. But once I'm done here, I'm going to take it down to the bay. I'll go to the farms. I'll go all over the place. There's a bunch of lakes near me. I'll put it up over the lakes and try to give you a good mix of light and dark and, you know, kind of golden hour in the afternoon so you can get a feel for exactly what that camera can provide because, again, you've got a 1-inch sensor in there and you've got a 1/1.3-inch sensor in there. So you got dual sensors, and I'm not using any kind of ND filter, so it'll be just raw footage off the camera, set on auto, and 4K at 60. So stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed that video montage because I had so much fun capturing that footage over the last few weeks. And after flying the Air 3S for a while, I can tell you that the larger 1-inch sensor combined with the improved imaging package really has a major impact on the content you'll create, as you can see from those video samples. And it's an interesting drone because it sort of fits right in the middle between a typical consumer drone and a more professional drone. So if you're somebody looking to join the hobby and you're going to buy your first drone, the Air 3S has got everything you'll need. It flies far, it flies long, it's got 360-degree crash avoidance, including LiDAR on the front, which will find things in the dark. It's got a ton of AI features built in that do automated flight patterns. It's got return to home capabilities built in. It's got APAS built in where you can fly it into the forest and it's going to dodge trees as it chases you. It really is a great drone for anybody looking to start the hobby. But if you're a professional flyer, because you've got the dual lensing system in there and the improved imaging package, you can use it for commercial work as well, and you won't have to worry about some of those larger, more expensive drones. So for me, it's right in the middle. It's like that Swiss Army knife of all the features I care about at a reasonable price for a drone of that caliber. And that's all I really had for today. So thank you very much for watching. I love talking about technology like this, so I hope you're enjoying the clip. And until next time, as always, happy flying.